Welcome in, everybody, to episode 19 of Mother's Jail. Tonight's session is the first session of our second act, and it is the beginning of our fifth chapter, Bleeding Silver. Tonight's session, fittingly enough, is titled Wounded. Last time, when we all got together, Operation Sword Crown, believe it or not, actually began. As the Mortal Reminder and the Children of the Deep staged a rather daring invasion of the Mother's Jail mainland, invading at a northern city called Highwall, a city that was, comparatively speaking, relatively undefended, by nature of it being controlled by the Argenti, whom... they're not as invested in this war, shall we say, as many others are. They have only one formal alliance, which is with the Warden Republic. And even that alliance is, let's say, tenuous at best. It's more of a we won't attack you if you don't attack us alliance than an actual military alliance. That being the case, the Mortal Reminder was indeed successful in taking their target of Fort Red Rock. The party themselves were rather daring in their approach to this, flying on the dark side to invade the fort from above and destroying the static defenses of the fort, as well as slaying the fort's commander, Captain Garrus of the Argenti. Doing so allowed for a relatively easy taking of the fort itself. The fight was not without interest.
Is that the word you're going to use?
I don't know how else to say it. We had a
drama without drama.
It was not without drama, as Nova was put to the brink of death before being revived.
Before that,
a goat, walking up an 88-degree angle, shall we say?
I think it was 89 degrees.
89-degree angle, fair enough. We had a big ol' smooch that happened between Nova and Brayley, and the polycule grew even wider.
Sorry.
I now have a chart for it that shows who is in a relationship with who. We also saw Layla's pacifism tested, and she held true to it.
Mm-hmm.
And when the battle report came in, the party was delighted to learn that indeed Highwall proper and Fort Westroad were also successfully taken, meaning that the landing is considered a success. Not one that came without cost, as one of the Council of Five was killed in the attack on Fort Westroad, and you all learned that Captain Orion Moraine was killed in action. Not killed in action,
Who?
wounded in action.
Yeah, what?
Wounded in action, sorry. Sorry, he's a lieutenant, too. Lieutenant Orion Moraine was wounded in action pretty severely during the taking of Highwall. And we left off with you hopping on the dark side to make your way over to Highwall and find out what is going on.
Every time you say it's called the dark side, I always just giggle, because it just sounds like we have to go to the dark side. We're turning to the dark side, everybody.
They have cookies. How can
Yep.
chocolate chip, double chocolate chip? Fuck yes.
Kelsey named it for it being the secret way that they deal with the moon. So
Yeah, I figured. Dark
But
side
yes.
of
that
the moon.
means we gotta leave the bright side of the road.
I mean, it do. So, by airship, it is not a long trip over to Highwall. It's not really a long trip over to Highwall by any way of traveling. Even on foot, it wouldn't take too long. But by airship, it's probably only an hour or so to get there. And luckily, you happen to know the captain, who is willing to take you And so she flies you over to the city of Highwall. As you arrive in Highwall, well, it has most definitely been the scene of a pretty intense battle. Certainly, it was more intense than your guys' landing ended up being because you destroyed so many of the static defenses in advance. That was not the case here, as even just landing on the beach where the dark side kind of pulls up, there are large craters all across the beach. You can still see bits of shrapnel. They were apparently launching shrapnel bombs as a defense of the city. A great deal of the outer walls of Highwall are crumbling at this point from the pretty massive battle that took place here, even though it was a very one-sided battle in a lot of ways. There was really, military historians will look back on this battle later on and say there was no chance that Highwall was going to succeed in the defense of the city, but they did fairly well given how outnumbered they were, which is not great for Children of the Deep, but it is still commendable. As you make your way into the city, you indeed, all around you, see buildings that are crumbling. The people who live in the city of Highwall, most have abandoned it at this point and are fleeing into the countryside, but some do still remain determined to stay in their homes, even under occupation. You don't get a lot of pleasant looks, I would say, from most of them. You are definitely not here as liberators in their eyes. But, well, they're not in active revolt, we'll put it this way. While you're definitely not liberators, the reality is that the Argenti don't care very much about this place, so their protection of it was limited at best, let's just say. But you make your way into the city, and you're able to ask one of the many soldiers that are now starting to set up temporary structures and fortifications for them to house in while they are told where they're going next. But they let you know that further up in the city, there is an old church to Gesherin, the Dragonborn god of war, that is being used as a hospital right now for those injured, either too injured to walk or those who are probably not long for this world at this point. So that's what you are told as you arrive, but you are welcome to do whatever it is that you like, mortal reminder.
Presumably I am chasing Ramiel.
Yeah, he's making a
Up to that
beeline.
spot.
He's making a beeline for the nearest medical official and asking where a Lieutenant Moraine would be residing or taken.
I presume, are all of you going, or is it Layla and Ramiel?
I guess because it's not just going to be one person there, so...
No, it's going to be a lot of people there who are
Yeah.
recovering from wounds.
Might as well, I think.
Yeah, we'll all go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The person indeed guides you up towards the temple to Gesherin. Along the way, he informs you that people aren't really being separated out by rank at the moment. All wounded are going to the same place. So he takes you up onto the north end of town, where indeed you see a old, large temple. It is... You're all pretty young, so this is a large temple. By the standards of this time and era, most temples have been downsizing pretty steadily over the last 20 years because the era of the divine is ended. And the temples that still remain are usually to gods that are of, how should I put this, a more permanent fixture. Sail and boss, flora and fauna, Lockheed remains popular. But here, where there has been war for 20 straight years, basically, indeed, there is a temple to Gesherin. Though it's notable that Gesherin was a jet dragonborn in life, so his temple is, I would say, conflicting here at the moment, where the jet do not, until recently, did not control this territory. This temple, though it is very large, is also very old and is being repurposed now for a military hospital because it's needed, and it's one of the buildings that survived the attack. So as you are approaching it, you do see a familiar face that is actually two of them that are sitting outside. There's a row of benches that are kind of on this lead up to the temple itself, and you see Lieutenants Rain and Asuka there. And they're both kind of just sitting with their arms crossed, and when Asuka looks up, she nudges Rain, and both of them get up and hurry over to you.
I give a wave.
Nova hurries by and hugs both Asuka hurries by and hugs both Nova and Ayla and smiles. You two are okay.
As are you. As are you. Stupid
Yes.
accent.
Yeah. Fortunately, it was a tougher landing than they had expected it to be, but well, they fought harder than we thought, but we beat them eventually.
In the
They
end,
all-
when it comes to us, that is all that matters.
We all survived. That's what's important.
Yes. How did it go over at Fort Red Rock?
I think Ayla just kind of gives Nova a look.
No, that doesn't meet her gaze. We were successful in our mission.
That's good.
I may have been on the ground for part of it, but I'm here.
She narrows her eyes.
I kind of look at Ayla like,
Uh-huh.
I'm fine. There are plenty of people who are gifted with healing that were around me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rain kind of approaches Layla, Braylee, and Ramiel and nods. Guessing you probably heard.
We came as soon as we did.
Yeah. So
What's
look,
happened?
you can go in. There's a waiting room in the front area. Arya's there. She look, go easy on her. She's still beating herself up pretty bad.
Ramiel kind of like tilts his head at that and goes, "What's happened?"
The landing was pretty rough. There's a lot. They had a lot of weaponry, defensive weaponry. So there was explosions and bombs and a lot going on when we landed. And she had her first kill. And well, she handled it probably the way any sane person should. She started freaking out and didn't even see it coming. But Orion did, and well, he got in the way.
I see.
Took a pretty nasty explosion and a lot of shrapnel up the side of us. It's not great.
Well, I'll still take a look at him. For his sake, if nothing else.
Yeah, he hasn't regained consciousness yet, but yeah, you can go in. He's the third bed down on the left when you go in there. Try to stay quiet. There's a lot of people sleeping.
Pose. Thank you. And Ramiel gives him a brief nod and heads on over.
As you enter, There is indeed a pretty sizable waiting room. They've kind of turned the front area of this temple into the waiting area. And from beyond there, you can see a large curtain has been hung, and beyond that are beds for everybody, or tables, or whatever they could find to rest people on. And in that waiting room, there's a number of people there, but you do see Arya quickly, she is huddled up on a bench and is just looking down at the floor when you see her.
Ramiel is going to turn to Layla and go, would you mind if I have a talk with her?
That's quite alright. Just let me know when you want me to pop in.
If they'll allow it, please do what you can for Orion.
Of course. You don't have to ask.
Thank you. And Ramiel is gonna walk over and place a hand on Arya's shoulder.
Arya does not respond, as she's just still looking down. You can see now that her hands still have blood all the way up to the elbows. And she's trying to not cry, but she clearly has been.
Arya?
She kind of blinks and looks up at you.
Starlight, I'm here. Are you okay?
I'm sorry.
Whatever for?
It was my fault.
What?
I told Mom I was ready. I told her I was ready. And they were shooting arrows and everything at us, and I put my lance through his throat, just where I'd been taught. He died so fast. And I started freaking out. The next thing I knew, the explosion was going off, and he was in front of me.
Frommel's gonna look over to where Orion is would be lying down. How does he look?
You can't see where he is from here because there's that large curtain that's in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So he's beyond that. Doctor says he's gonna live. But it's bad. It's bad. It's my fault.
Arya, darling, look at me. And he's going to move in front of her and put himself on eye level. Look at me. What's happened was not your fault. We are at war. War is not glorious. It's not grand. It is ugly. It shows the ugliest parts of people, because they have to do whatever it is to survive in a violent and brutal setting. You did what you did because you needed to stay alive.
Yeah.
Orion, your lieutenant did what he did because he didn't want you to die. He knew how much you mean to me. You are my sister.
I think at that she finally, like, pulls you into a tight hug and just starts to sob into your shoulder.
And he's going to hold her as tight as he can, and just um rub her back as well.
While that's happening, Layla, as you step
Neat.
through the curtain there, you do indeed see a jet dragonborn woman who is walking through the area. She's got fins coming out of either side of her head and has a run of like a long fin that runs down her tail as well. And she sees you and hurries over. I'm sorry, are you visiting someone?
Yes. I'm here with a friend of mine who's... Well, I'm not quite sure what exactly the status of their relationship is, but they're having a private moment.
Oh, right. Um,
Do you need assistance with anything? I'm also a healer myself. I avoided it.
yeah. No, I appreciate that. You know, I'm something of a doctor myself. Yeah.
It's always a cross.
I stopped myself right before it left my mouth.
She kind of blinks. You're a trained healer. Then yes, we need all the help you can give. Start wherever, really.
Very well, and I'll just head over to whatever the nearest one is and start working on it, because I want to like try and stay in the area so I'm still like within sight, so Ramiel isn't like, oh no.
Yeah, no, you start going through, and they've basically divided this section of the temple. This is normally like where the pews would be, but they've moved all those out and I've made them a series of not bedrooms, but clothed off areas so you could have a degree of
little
privacy.
tents.
Yes, exactly. And you start going through them, and the injuries of war are what you would expect. They're brutal. There are people who have lost limbs or are going to. There are people who are going to recover, and there are people for whom this will be their last night on this world. It is rough. That said, I will have you make a medicine check, and let's see how you do at maybe helping some people out.
This is such a good song, by the way.
Huh?
This is such a good song. What is this
Yes,
song?
Robbie sent it over to me. He uses it in our Netherdeep game.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we can pull out of the random number generator bag.
Okay.
That's fair.
The RNG
Much-
bag.
Much better.
That's
So that would be a 220 total.
Nice. Yes, that is remarkably helpful as you start making your way through using magic and medicine to help those. There is a... Let me ask you something, and you can tell me
Yeah.
for Layla. Does Layla subscribe to the cruel calculus of it all? Is Layla trying to help everyone equally, or is she helping the ones she can save?
So she'll tell anybody if they asks that yes, I understand, and will, help those that I can, and like some are beyond it. But if you observe her, that is not the case.
So she tries to help everyone equally.
She says, yeah, she says she'll
Yeah.
do that, but she doesn't actually.
So then, as you're going around, there are moments where the doctor on staff, where she actually grabs you and just says, "No, that one you can't help. That one's gone. Focus it on someone else."
I can help.
She kind of gives you that long look. You haven't been a doctor very long, have you?
Long enough.
She considers it for a moment before nodding. You're not sure if that's her deciding this is a lesson you have to learn or if she believes you. And indeed, you do try to help as many as you can. Some you help. Some die because they were always going to. You eventually come upon Orion. As I said, he's the third one on the left, and he's unconscious still when you see him, but he is breathing. He has bandaging, heavy bandaging, all the way from his right eye down over the right side of his torso, all the way down to almost his hip. He has pretty heavy bandaging. His arm looks like hamburger.
Oh no.
And you imagine what's under the bandaging probably doesn't look a lot better. As you examine, I'm going to have you give me a medicine check specifically for him.
Okay.
This is you determining maybe what can be fixed.
Yeah, we're gonna inspo again.
All right.
Okay.
I gotta get those low rolls out and burn through the inspo.
It's
Oh,
true.
that becomes a 21 then.
You don't know about his arm. It might heal up. There might be enough of it left that it'll heal in time. You're not sure. The side of his torso, you can see, has already been pretty heavily operated on as they've been taking shrapnel out of him. You're sure they got as much of it as they can, but there's probably going to be some bits that are left behind. The big thing that you notice with a 21 is where they may have written it off, you think you can save his eye. You think that his right eye might be able to be saved still. So, would you like to try to use a spell or something to assist in your medicine check as you try to fix his eye?
Why, yes. And so here's sort of the question. This gets into the weird fiddly back end. Would it be better to do like an upcasted healing spell?
So here's what I'm going to tell you. No matter what, you're going to have to make a
Okay.
medicine check, but the greater the resource you expend to try to help, the perhaps lower the DC.
Well, in that case, and we are going to upcast using my new 4th level spell slot for my buddy
Ooh.
Ram. And we're going to upcast Prayer of Healing, and I don't know, maybe it'll catch some others nearby. But that's side benefit.
Make a medicine check with advantage.
$25.
That meets. You hold your hand over his eye and start channeling the energies into him, born of your faith, born of your will to heal. And you have to peel the bandages back a little bit to see what you're working on, and it's gruesome. He took a piece of shrapnel in the eye. But you are able to repair most of the damage, though you think his eye will probably always bear some semblance of the wound here. You think there'll always be a degree of scarring over the area, and his eye will probably have some discoloration to it. You think you have probably saved his eyesight in that eye.
And feeling a little drained, will sort of slump over and just sort of check on little handiwork and just do the sort of mundane things of what I can do otherwise.
I think it's equal parts gratifying to see your work to actually heal people, and difficult to see those that you put effort into that die. To wonder if that effort you had spent on them could have saved someone else. It's a lot.
On the one hand, I did that. On the other, that's all I did.
Yep. Back in the waiting room, eventually Arya looks up at you as she gets a hold of herself. You should go see him.
Have you?
Just for a moment. He hasn't woken up, but I felt like I had to at least look at it, what I'd done.
Not yet. Don't do this to yourself. Don't blame yourself for what happened.
I'm gonna make it right.
Arya, listen to me. This was not your fault. Taking a life is never easy. It puts a blemish on you. I'm sorry that you have to experience the gravity of the severity of taking a life. It was not a fate I wished on you.
I asked for it. I told Mom and I was ready. I wanted to do my part. She told me what a fool I was being, and I didn't listen. But I'm gonna do better. They're putting Asuka in charge until he's better. I don't know if she'll have me, but if she will, I'm gonna fight for her.
If she does, be careful. Don't forget about the feeling, but don't let it consume you.
Yeah.
And if ever there comes a time when you feel that it's too much, you always have us. There are things that you can't talk about with Mum. Talk to me. You know, I'm always here for you. We all are.
Go see him.
Not without my sister.
No. I can't.
Arya, I need you there. I don't know if I'm strong enough.
strongest person I know.
And he shakes his head at that. Mum was stronger than all of us. I
You're
don't
the
know
one
what.
here fighting.
She's the reason I'm here in the first place. If it wasn't for her, if it wasn't for the whispers and silence, I wouldn't be here.
Maybe. Where are they now?
Doing what they can for the world.
I don't know if you looked outside or not, but the world is burning!
It's a site I'm also familiar with, Arya. Varys. Lord Varys is
I don't
helping
care. I don't care. They're not here. Mom is rotting in a Draconic Legion prison, and they're not here. Go see your boyfriend. He needs you. And she walks off.
Ramiel watches her retreating form for a little bit, before he steals himself.
Yep.
And then heads over to the third bed on the left.
Outside, as the rest of you are getting caught up with Rain and Asuka, another familiar face approaches, that of Kelsifer, who makes his way over to the group. I just heard about the success over at Fort Red Rock. How did it go, from your perspective? He says to Nova and to Ayla, and kind of motions to Brayley.
I would say very well, considering the circumstances.
Better than here, it sounds like.
Yeah, the lieutenant got injured. Oh, all things considered, it went well, if we're just going by the numbers.
Yeah.
We had planned for far more significant losses in the initial invasion than what we actually ended up suffering. So in that way, it went well.
But the morale is not good.
For us, perhaps. Though I think you'll find that much of the invasion force is in pretty high spirits. 3 forts taken in one day. Casualties far less than expected. Very few important killed in action, as they would say. Went about as well as it can. He looks at you, Brayley. Glad to see you well.
I'm glad to see your lucky charm worked.
Yeah, I would say so.
You should have seen her when she was a bear. Tore a man straight off the wall. It was impressive.
Is that a metaphor, or did you turn into a bear and pull someone off a wall?
I was legit. I was a bear.
See, I've learned to ask, but yeah, okay.
Usually with her, assume it's fairly literal.
I'm learning that, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I came to pay my respects for the lieutenant. I understand he's going to be out of commission for a while, but they tell me he hasn't woken up yet.
Yes, Rami and Layla are with him now.
We could certainly use Layla's healing hands, as it were. um, do you know, have they talked to you about where you're going next?
Have we been
No.
briefed on the mission? Okay.
Not a clue.
Not yet.
Okay.
How about you?
Yes, I do know where I'll be heading next. There's a fort to the south of here. It's controlled by the Draconic Legion, and I volunteered to help in the attack on it. We're going to try and take it and make sure that we don't get counterattacked to the south as soon as we move out to do something.
Yes, that is smart.
Say again?
That is smart.
I hope so. It was my idea, so. They'll have you, I'm sure you'll have your own task and a group to lead in the process. They're, everything I hear, everyone seems pretty taken with you all. They say, what was it that, I said, they say you flew in under cover of night and single-handedly won the battle.
I wouldn't say single-handedly.
Okay, well,
There are a lot of hands involved.
12 to 14 hands. Nevertheless, I'm told...
Maybe a few paws.
Yeah, well, I'm told it was quite impressive, and you
Her
have...
wings.
You've all made a mark, that's for sure. There's been a not insignificant number of people who have requested to serve under your command in the next battle, so...
Ah. We'll have to see what's
Commander
Elspeth?
Elspeth, yeah.
We'll have to see what Commander Elspeth thinks.
Of course.
I think that will be her choice, whether to increase the numbers of the dream team, so to speak. More
Well, all I mean to say is that wherever you go next, you will not be short of soldiers willing to follow you there.
Morale is important.
And it is strong. And,
It's hard to feel that we got lucky looking around here.
he looks around the city. Yeah. We didn't expect them to be willing to fight to a man over this city. We thought as soon as word came in of West Road or Red Rock falling, they would just retreat.
Hmm.
They didn't. They fought to the very last man. They apparently were more interested in holding this place than they let on.
Does anyone know why?
Your guess is as good as mine. They, the people who remain here aren't really willing to talk about it. They don't seem to have any ill will towards the Argenti. That said, we're not here to run their lives for them. This is just a staging post for us. So, as long as we don't push them around too much, I think they'll probably be fine enough with us moving through.
I
Well,
wonder.
Maybe something will come up.
It is concerning that they would want to hang on to this place so badly. But I can't say why. I am glad to see you all well.
And you.
Inside, Ramiel, you finally approach the bed and you see Orion there. Layla, you see Ramiel enter and walk over. You, as I say, you were able to manage to save his eye, probably. And he is laying there, as I say, heavy bandages laid over part of his face, covering that eye, extending down to the middle of his torso. His other eye remains closed, though. As you approach Ramiel, it does open, and he looks at you very wearily.
Ramiel immediately rushes over. Easy.
Mm,
I'm here.
How can it be easy? There's such a pretty person near my bed.
Romuald is going to take Ryan's left hand and hold it.
It's pretty bad, isn't it?
Well,
It's certainly not good.
Figures. My sister used to say I was lucky my face was pretty because my brains weren't worth much. Guess my luck ran out, huh?
don't say that. You're worth far more to me than you realize.
And I would say, considering the state that you're in, your luck hasn't run out, as it could have easily been much worse.
Yeah. You know, when I came of age, they let me choose which technoprosthesis I was gonna take. I was originally gonna get new lungs, let me breathe underwater and such. The last minute, I decided to go for the enhanced skin. Good call, as it turned out.
Smile.
And
But otherwise trying
Layla,
to stay
you-
a bit back.
Layla, you know without a doubt, looking at him, if not for the fiber weave in his skin, he'd have been killed by this. No doubt.
Ryan, I cannot thank you enough for being there for Arya.
For Arya? Oh. Listen, don't tell her this, because I think she kind of looks up to me, but I just wanted to show off. I thought I could take it. I don't want her getting any fool ideas like I was protecting her or anything like that. She's a tough girl. She don't need no protection.
Well, you'll need to tell her yourself. As it turns out, she won't even listen to me.
Yeah, I get the sense that some hard-headedness runs in your family.
You do know I'm not technically blood related to them.
You
My
do know that
hard-headedness.
hard-headedness doesn't run by blood, right?
Supposedly, it's a trait that she got from both our mothers.
Yeah, well, I think you might have picked up a little bit too.
I mean, speaking practically in terms of nature versus nurture, that very much is the sort of thing that would be a learned behavior from the adult figures in your life.
You should listen
That
to
sort of
Layla.
attitude.
Layla seems like someone who knows what they're talking about.
I know. Why do you think she's here?
Why can't I feel my arm? Is it still there?
No.
It is.
Okay. How bad is it? Because I'm picturing crushed raspberries.
No.
Well, that's actually rather astute guess. In
Afraid of
time,
that.
you will regain use of it, but it will be quite the path for you.
Oh, that's good. That's my throwing arm.
I was gonna go pro.
Was at one time my writing arm, but I'll be honest with you, I was never very good at writing anyway. I don't think it's gonna change too much. You all get the sense he might be on painkillers.
Yeah, I was gonna say. My bro is living up the painkiller life right now.
Yeah, he is a little high.
Well, if you didn't regain use of your arm, it'd be a damn shame. Canis and I will have to figure out who gets to ride on your arm.
Hey, Ramiel, I
Yes.
got maybe an important question for you. How do you
What
feel about
is it?
scars? Because I don't want to spoil anything, but I think I might have a couple.
Rabiel's gonna look over at Leela and go like, it's
Who,
Is-
by the way, is blushing at this point. Like, I shouldn't be here for this part of the conversation.
it's,
I got
it's
you.
should I answer?
That it's a genuine question.
Rabiel thinks for a moment, and goes, I don't really have a strong opinion on them. I don't dislike them.
He nods. Well, if you ever feel the need to trade up, I'll understand.
Ryan. Alright, no, it's. You're very important to me. And I'm sorry, I've not been more upfront about it. Frankly, it's a novel feeling. I liked having your attention. I liked it when you would look my way and smile, that special smile that Ryan, I love you.
I love you too.
Definitely taking a step back.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to give them a moment. He looks at you, and it's probably the most lucid look you've seen in his eye so far, as he does. I know what it feels like to lose a sister. I didn't want you to feel it.
Evidently, I've lost enough sisters. I told you about these. And he's going to point to one of his scales.
They look pretty on you.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll get myself a set, cover up some of the, well, whatever's left of my face. You think they come in like orange? It's more my color.
I don't think these are something that you can get.
Not with that attitude.
I'm told these are markings of one directly descended from the first brood. Asia specifically in my case.
Hey, Ramiel, my mom told me I shouldn't talk bad about myself, but you might be marrying down a little bit with me.
Oh, darling.
Between a whisper in silence and the general of the army and Azir. I mean, I come from a farm. And not a particularly successful one.
Orion, I'd
I
be
could
the
have been a great trophy
luckiest.
husband.
Orion, listen to me. I'd be the luckiest man in the world if you'd have me. I know I talk too much. I know I talk to the point. My brain takes a little bit to catch up, and I realize that in the span of it, I've already said something that I may have already regretted. This whole business about my family, about being related to Asia, about Shizu being my elder sister, that's been something that I've only recently discovered. I didn't realize just exactly how personal this war has become, how personally affected all of my families have gotten.
You
Meeting you was one of the few good things that happened since I came to Mother's Jail. And I'd never trade that for anything in the world.
Well, maybe when I get out of here and, with 6 to 8 years of practice with makeup, I could, maybe we'll do something about that. I'm glad your friends are with you. They're good people. Can you do me a favor?
Yes. Anything.
Shut up and kiss me.
I was waiting for you to ask.
And he does. And as he kisses you, he falls back asleep because he is very tired and his everything hurts. Especially his right. His right in general hurts.
Also, Layla lets out a big sob tap. Oh my word, y'all is so lovely.
Are they engaged or not?
Is it official?
There's no official engagement
I would not say
proposal.
yet.
Started off like you were going to.
I know. I thought so too.
There's no ring. Where's he gonna get a ring?
He gave you a ring the first day you were together.
It was a promise ring. Let's get that clear.
This boy is
Engaged to be engaged.
this boy. I know. This boy's just ready.
So, back outside. You all see Arya kind of march out of the temple. A very conflicted look on her face as she exits out and approaches Asuka and salutes her. Ma'am, I am reporting for duty.
Reporting for duty? I look at Asuka. 'Cause I don't think she told us yet.
No, she hasn't. She looks over and nods. You should take some time for yourself. I don't need time for myself. I'm ready to make amends for what I did. Okay. Down near the shores, they're probably still bringing supplies on board. Go make yourself useful. Arya nods and salutes and hurries off. They're having me lead in until Orion is fit again for service.
Traded one pretty man for another pretty woman. Apologies. Jokes aren't necessary.
Flattery will get you everywhere, as always. They had said something about my being one of the few people around here who has leadership experience, they decided not to inform people of what that leadership experience entailed or that the last people I led tried to kill me. They decided to leave that bit out. But-
When it comes to resumes, not all the information is necessary.
Too true.
But, indeed. Aria seems that conversation with Ramiel did not go well.
I feel like not
She's-
well is an understatement, given that.
I don't know that it was ever going to go well. She's blaming herself, and she's doing so because it's her fault. She fucked up. And it got someone that she knows her brother cares about hurt. Battlefield is no place for a child. And General Tashira should be ashamed of herself. I would tell her that to her face, but I'm told that's the sort of thing you get put in prison for. So I have been advised sternly to not share that opinion.
Not all people can listen to things, even if it might be correct. Either way, she is here, and she is learning the all-important truth and awfulness about shame. It can be completely honest, and yet it can also completely consume you.
Well, I'm not the one who'll be paying the price for it. I'm sure Commander Alspeth will be getting an earful.
Where's General Tashiro? Do we know?
She's here. She's in the government building up the way. This is where we're setting up our home base for now.
Does she know of what happened already?
Yeah, she heard.
Okay.
As I say, it'll be Commander Alspeth who has hell to pay. Something about, I thought you were going to keep an eye on her, protect her, you know. Yeah.
That's the problem with war, is you can make all the promises you can, but...
Yeah.
She kind of looks a little guilty at Aelin Brayley. Doesn't mean you can always keep them.
Especially not when they send you to a completely different fort.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Just saying what it is. Do you guys well, no, you don't know where you're going next. I'm sure you'll be able to let them know. You probably have your pick of the litter.
Seems that was sort of the hint I got. We'll see.
Yeah, well. As for us, I think we're gonna... I don't know, it doesn't feel right going with Orion still here, but I guess that's not how it works, is it?
I think he'd want
Not
you to
here.
Exactly.
Rain heard from her mom.
Oh,
That went swimmingly.
fuck.
Yeah.
Is Rain here?
She is over talking with someone else at the
Okay.
moment.
Any word of what she said?
According to Rain, her mom just is acting like nothing happened. Asked for a status report on what's going on, and
Pretending she didn't try to have her killed.
according to Rain.
Oh, that's fucked up.
I thought my parents were fucked.
Yeah, I don't pretend to understand good or bad parents. My dad sucked, but she's conflicted, and I don't really know what to do about it. I gotta be able to trust her if she's gonna serve under me, and I don't. I haven't since the beginning, but Orion insisted.
Well, that is a problem. Have you told her that?
No, I haven't.
Well, looks like she could use someone to talk to then. Oh god, is that going to be me?
You are the one that's good at talking to people.
Listen. I was only good at it because Rashira helped me. We'll see where this gets me.
Well, I'll remind you that we are kind of one in the
Friends,
yes.
roses. The red rose on the play.
Well, we are one and the same now.
I suppose that is true. When we get a moment, she's speaking to Rashir in her head.
Yeah.
When we get a moment, there are some things that we need to figure out.
Perhaps. Oh, you don't mean Rain.
Oh, I mean, I will in a moment. I meant you and I.
Well, Sherry. Anytime, any place. I literally cannot be anywhere else.
Indeed. And she'll return their focus back to the present. Well, I suppose if you two will pardon me a moment, and
Yeah.
they'll approach Rain.
Rain is speaking with another of the soldiers who is here, who is basically determining how many beds are still available. Can they keep bringing wounded up here, or do they need to get a new place started up? And Rain nods and looks over as you approach. Hey, right, Nova, right?
Mm-hmm. You called it.
Sorry, still learning names.
It's fine. Rain. I know we've only briefly met. I heard about your mom.
Glad it's public knowledge. Yeah, my mom. She messaged. She sent me a sending message.
Any regard of what happened to you?
She's she didn't say where she is or anything like that. Just asked for a status report and let me know where she wanted me to meet her.
Did she say what to meet with you for?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Did she say what to meet with you for?
No. My gut says to kill me. But, well. Seems awfully lazy even by her standards.
So you're curious. It's to be expected, I think.
Yeah, I'm curious. She's my mom.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have a good relationship with your mom?
Mom is dead. Father wasn't in the picture. But my mother, despite being a prostitute, did love me at least. But that's because, well, she showed it every day.
Yeah, Cassandra Dumorn isn't exactly a, how to put this, isn't exactly a I show you that I love you kind of person with anyone, really. She's more of a, I trust you, therefore I love you kind of person.
The problem with that is, at least in my experience, trust can be broken by a flick of a wrist.
Or by trying to have someone murdered, as it turns out.
Indeed. I think it's dumb to love people you can't trust, but that's also how most people love. If love is gone the minute they can't trust you, strong was the love in the first place.
You broke all their trust, and they all still seem to like you well enough.
I know. That's what I mean, though. If you supposedly broke your mom's trust in your own daughter, and her reaction was to try to kill you.
So, by that logic, shouldn't it go the other way, too? She broke my trust, but I should still love her?
I can't tell you how to feel, but what, They think for a moment of how to maybe phrase this. When it comes to what she tried to do to you, does it still seem unbelievable? Or does it make sense?
Look, my mom has done a lot of bad things to a lot of people. And I've helped her do a lot of bad things to a lot of people. I've killed people for her. Not always people who deserve to die. So she did bad things, and I did bad things, but never to each other. You know, what do I say? I'm a murderer. It's what I am. Earlier, I saw a girl just a couple years younger than me kill someone for the first time, and it broke her. And all I could think was, God, by the time I was her age, I'd killed more times than I could count on my fingers. It doesn't even affect me anymore. What's left of this, you know? Just a... If I don't have her, I'm just a murderer. That's all that remains.
Now that is a load of bullshit.
What?
You are nothing but a murderer without your mother. That is... No. If that was all you were, why do anything with us? If that is all you were, then why not let yourself die when she came to collect you? No, there's a spark in you that believes that you're more than that. Because of course you are. People aren't just one thing. Am I merely a traitor, a heartbroken, miserable pile of shit? I thought that. I'm not, though, as it turns out.
Sorry, my follow alert just played.
That's okay. Do I need to pause?
No, you're fine.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So, if, sorry, lost a little train of
Nope,
thought.
you're fine.
So,
I understand what you're saying. Maybe it's the nature of war that we get a chance to wipe our slates clean.
That is true. In war, I feel like that was the promise they gave all the mercenaries, right? Join a cause. Whether for glory, for riches, for honor. But, I think you can wipe the slate clean, but you have to make a choice of what you're going to stand for. I originally was in this war because I needed something. I thought I needed something. But now, I fight in this war because, well, there's something bigger going on that I don't fully understand. And these are my friends. These are the people who do love me, who show it every day, who make me be a better version of myself than I thought I could be.
And don't kill you.
I mean, that's fair too. That always helps.
She glances over to where Asuka's standing. You know, Orion didn't even hesitate. When I said I would join up, he took me onto the team like that. I guess the least I can do is pay back that trust.
That's how trust works. Someone shows it to you and you decide, all right.
Ship Swallow.
I'm sorry?
Ship Swallow. It's where my mom wanted to meet me.
Where is Ship Swallow?
It is right there in the eye.
Okay. They nod.
She wanted to meet me there in 2 weeks.
Well, I think there's a couple choices you can make. Obviously, if you decide to go down there by yourself, we can't stop you. I don't know if it's a smart decision, but you could do that. You could, on the other hand, tell Commander Alspeth and see if that is of interest to her. Or you might feel that's too much, in which case, well, perhaps a small contingency can go down there with you.
Make a persuasion check.
You got it. $28.
The look on her face is one of someone who has something they want to say, but they know that if they do, there's no going back.
Okay. Nova takes a step closer and puts their hand on their shoulder. Take a deep breath and go with your gut. And I will listen.
The Draconic Legion has been paying a sum of money that we didn't think was possible to get the bulk of our mercenaries for the past 2 years. Like, my mom is really smart. Like, really smart. She worked out near the beginning of this war what the economic abilities of each of these factions would be and how to play them against each other. How to ensure that one of them never became strong enough to win.
Mm-hmm.
And then something changed a few years ago, and all of a sudden, the Legion, started just having way more than they should have. And they started buying out the contracts of our mercenaries that were supposed to go to other places. If my mom were to be captured, the Legion would lose the bulk of its new units coming in.
They nod in understanding. they'll kind of go from like hand and shoulder, like hand around, not like a full hug, but just like a little one.
She looks at you like someone who has just committed treason.
It sucks to feel that way. I know it well. We're going to figure this out for you. And maybe there's hope yet for your mother, if you want it to be. But if you never forgive her again, I wouldn't blame you.
Nova, this war almost ended 10 years ago. My mom is the reason it was able to keep going.
Forget what I said. Sorry. No offense.
I know.
Do you want to talk to Commander Elspeth? Do you want me there with you, or do you want me to relay this?
I'll talk to her.
Nova will offer a hug if she wants it.
She does. She hugs you.
Nova hugs her tightly. Being a traitor's not so bad. She kind of whispers a little jokingly. And then, if Raina has more to say, that's fine, but otherwise she'll...
At that, she looks at you. I hope that's what I'm able to think if I ever stand over her grave. And she goes to make her way and speak with Commander Elspeth.
I was going to take a deep breath and walk back to the group.
That was very well done.
Thank you.
As Asuka raises an eyebrow. Well, that seemed productive.
Very. Rain's going to have some very important information to tell Commander Elspeth, which I believe you all will be given info about it soon, so I will not bore you with the details now. But I think suffice it to say, you can trust her.
All right. On your say-so.
And on my grave. Hopefully not too soon.
Yeah, I think Ayla's face is 100% too soon.
Sorry, too soon of a joke.
On that comment, Ayla, you hear whispering. It's the whispering that you remember from the mines.
I think Ayla's just gonna kind of try to like shake her head, like, you know, like a dog when it hears like. Yeah.
When it hears the Greeblins.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, you shake your head and it goes away.
That was weird.
So, with that, you are all given. You're all told that you will be given quarters here to stay. However, you also know that you have a room aboard the dark side available to you if you would prefer to stay on the airship. So it's completely up to you where you want to stay this evening. And the night is yours to go wherever you like and talk to whomever you like. So take it away.
In theory, how much bigger or smaller are the rooms on the dark side compared to the airship before?
How many people can fit
They-
in the room?
Yeah, if you're concerned about having multiple people in the room or large wings in the room, you'll probably take the room here in town. The dark side is the sister ship to Kelsey's ship, and
My timing can be any time. I know I want Nova to talk to Rashira, and then she would plan to talk to Alien Brayley. But if you two come to them first, that's fine. So I'm just putting that out there.
Alien Brayley?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ayla Brayley. I think I combined the names.
Fine.
I apologize.
Alien Brayley, is that a Brayley from the moon, like Rashira?
So apologies. That's my plan, but y'all do what you want to do, and I will be interspersing mine. I
Okay.
think between the evening.
All right.
As far as Ramiel goes, well, first priority is to find someone who can cast message, so he can who also knows of Captain Canis, and let him know that Orion. I don't know if you've heard the news, but Orion is okay. If you did, don't worry about
Yes,
it.
ending.
Or,
Yeah, you're gonna cast sending.
yeah, sending. That's the one. I'm sorry.
It's you get a message back almost immediately. It says, "It's good to hear from you. Yes, I did receive word. We've already set sail. We'll be there in the morning."
Sick. Second, second would be I don't know if General Tashira is able to uh or has like a moment of a
Yeah.
brief respite.
Listen, not everyone's able to get access to the general, but
But you probably
her
can.
son, yeah, probably.
You know.
Yeah, you make your way up to the government building here. I wouldn't call it a castle by any stretch of the imagination. It is more like a manor that they have multi-purposed into the the mayor's residence and also the where the government meetings are held. You head on over there, and I mean, as soon as you introduce yourself, they're like, "Oh, right."
Hmm.
Just one moment, and a moment later, the aide comes back down and nods to you. The general will see you now.
Thank you.
And yeah, they take you up to a room. As the door opens, there are a few people in the room. One of them is indeed General Tashira, who is standing weirdly. So you'd expect them to be behind a desk, running things, but they're not currently. They're actually on your side of the desk and speaking with a dragonborn man, a scarlet individual as well, who is shorter of stature. He is definitely older. A lot of his, red scales are starting to turn more like peachish in color. And he is an elderly man. And General Tashira looks over at you and smiles. Yes. Well, thank you, Mayor. I do hope that our time here together can be productive. As I say, we don't really come as conquerors so much. And the mayor speaks up. You'll forgive me for feeling otherwise, given the gratuitous amount of cannon fire and the large invading army. But I do understand that your enemy is not us. Your enemy merely is on the other side of us. And General Tashira nods. Yes. If you'll excuse me, and General Tashira walks over and kind of ushers you out with her, Ramiel.
Mm-hmm. Follows.
And takes you over to another side room. We've elected to not replace the leadership of the city. They don't seem like they're particularly interested in revolt or anything like that, so we're trying to make this as peaceful an occupation as possible.
Of course.
She hugs you. How are you?
Hanging in there. And you?
As well as I can, I suppose.
Have you heard from Arya?
I tried. She was not particularly interested in talking to me.
Oh, nor I.
Well, she's well, suffice it to say, she takes after her mother.
I believe she needs room to process. But at the same time, it's difficult.
I keep wanting to tell myself that I was a fool for letting her enlist. My original inclination was to deny her enlistment, and I keep thinking I should have done exactly that and stuck with it, but
Dwelling on what ifs and past decisions can be dangerous, man.
yes, it can. She has to figure this out now. She is an adult. It is her choice. And it is now her choice and her responsibility to make it through this or not. All we can do is be there for her.
I can only hope that she doesn't forget that we are here for her. But I think she does need to talk to Orion and hear from him herself.
Yeah.
I'll try and do what I can on that front, but
She needs time.
she does. Have you heard from anyone else?
Yeah. Those who would report to me, which is almost everybody. By all accounts, you all are the big heroes. Taking after Melody and the rest of them. Doing things that are patently insane. Something about a flying machine that you all flew over the walls and attacked and then turned into a bear.
Oh, I can hardly take any credit for that.
Uh-huh.
First, the ship is not mine.
Right. No, it's you know, just you are the one who brought them here though.
It was their decision to do so.
Yeah. I can't help but notice that after talking to you, a lot of people seem to make those kinds of decisions.
Oh.
Sounds like someone I know, someone I married.
Well, I learned from the best, I suppose.
That's a word for it? Sure. I would say you were influenced. That's the word I would use.
I would say I have a more eloquent way of expressing my thoughts and opinions on the matter. Mum helped me find the courage to do so.
Well, I'm proud of you. It's just the beginning. There's going to be a lot more that has to get done.
Let's hope that our efforts here do not further prolong this war. Because ultimately, the ones who lose the most in this are the unfortunate civilians that are caught up in the fighting.
Too true. Such is the nature of war.
It's like I told Arya, it's ugly. It brings out the ugliness in all of us. Is we have to do what we can in order to survive, to live another day. I just happen to have witnessed such horrors at a younger age than most. Not a fate that I would wish on anyone.
You watched Moon Bay burn to the ground as a child. I can't even fathom what that must have been like.
It remains a dark stain
And it always
But
will. But that singular event united the entire world against Scala. Terrible as it was, for the first time in my entire life after that, I watched tieflings and humans join arm in arm and draw their swords against Scala because a city of elves burned down. I never thought in my entire life I would see something like that.
they had to.
That's one
We
way of
were
looking at it.
we were the beginning. If she wasn't stopped, she would have raised Terrason in similar fashion and set her sights on the rest of Serene.
It's one way to look at it. Self-preservation is a powerful motivator. I like to think that people saw a chance to do the right thing and took it.
It
That's
wouldn't
the
have been possible without you and Mum and the rest of the Whispers and Silence.
I think that's what was special about it. It would have been. They got the chance to be heroes, and they rose up to it. Which... there are a lot of people out there who want to be a hero. But the reality is most people are never going to get the chance to do it. You can't make yourself a hero. You can only answer the call when it comes. And those who do, we write stories about them.
I think I understand why Mum is so averse to the fact that many people treat her as a hero. I don't feel any change as far as that goes. Only a lot more people recognize, a lot more people follow me with their eyes, observe.
They all hated being called heroes. All of them. Caldana, probably the most, hated being called a hero. She hated the idea of people looking up to her. Rialta, much the same. Even Varys. They would tell you that the point of what they did is that it shouldn't be up to heroes to change it. It should be on all of us. To make the world better or worse is a choice that we as a people have to make. That's a nice way of thinking about it, and it's a nice dream. But the reality is there will always be people who have to carry the flag first. There will always be people who have to be heroes and set the example for others. But the real dream of it is that that's not needed anymore.
Ramiel nods in understanding.
History is calling on you and your friends now.
Well,
We've-
if anything,
Sorry.
I did set out to find the next generation. I suppose this is exactly what I wanted.
I have something for you. For a long time, I had decided I was never going to show it to you. In fact, I damn near threw it overboard on the way over here.
And he kind of like tilts his head.
Reaches into her pack and draws out a very small notebook and hands it to you. Your mom has a lot of very wild stories. And I believe most of them. There's a few. I question something about a travel montage. I don't know what that means. But she said one day I was going to have to give you this, and I told her no. Now I can't help but think she was right all along. And he lets go, or she lets go of it.
He takes the notebook.
Yeah.
And looks at the does it have a like a cover or like a title
Not-
or like a
No, it is just a plain leather-bound small notebook that has, well, you don't know what in it.
He's gonna open it and flip to a first on the first page and then on the to a random page.
You quickly realize it is one of Melody's stories. A single story. You've heard all of her stories before, so you know her like cadence and rhythm when she tells a story, and you recognize immediately, but you don't know this tale. It's one she has never told before. It is a story about how, when she was traveling with the Whispers, they spoke to the Prime Goddess. And not just to the Prime Goddess, but to her daughter, Dragon, as well. And it details that meeting. Take it. Read it through. And then, well, it might shed some light on some things for you.
Mum, I can't possibly. This is. He's gonna stop and close his eyes, breathe, and go. Thank you. I will. I hope I'm worthy of this trust.
She certainly thought you were.
Mom has a peculiar way of being somewhat wise. Wise isn't a word I would describe her, no offense.
Who you telling?
It's quite vexing, really.
Yeah. Listen, in your life, you're going to meet people you love because they're wonderful and smart and funny and kind, and they just complete everything about you. And then you're going to meet people like your mom, who you marry and you love, and there's not a reason that you could write down that makes sense for why. You just do.
I seem to recall a certain story about the two of you. Something about being a scarlet meteor in the sky.
Okay, if you utter another word, I'll have you kicked out of this military.
It feels like it got that shit eating grin. Well, it's fortunate that you found that in Mum, and I suppose I could consider myself fortunate that I found that in, well, two people. And he stops at that and blinks and goes, "Oh my god." Good night.
Ramiel,
Good night, Mother.
are you Are you sleeping with two people at the same time?
I will. Let's not.
Is it like a fling?
First of all,
or...
it's consensual. We all consented.
I would hope so.
I raised you wrong otherwise.
So, like, is this like a slutty phase, or
Uh,
are you into
hi.
them?
Listen, I'm not. Like you said, you raised me better. I just happen to.
No, clearly
Fine.
I raised you more like myself than I realized.
Ramiel raises an eyebrow at that and goes, "Excuse me?"
Now
I
she
beg
has a
your
shit-eating
pardon?
grin on her face. No, you can think about that tonight. Bye-bye. Go read your book.
Well,
Hell yeah.
Ayla, what are you up to?
I think Ayla kind of uncharacteristically is just sticking to herself. Probably.
Being-
I'm assuming there's like some kind of guardhouse with like training dummies or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they definitely have stuff set up for, I mean, both for people who are recovering from injury, but also for those who are just trying to keep sharp. Unsurprisingly, the bars and taverns are the first things that they got back online in the city because, well, you know, always a chance to... Nothing brings out the heavy drinkers like war.
yep.
Or makes them.
True that. So, yeah, you're out practicing, and it's pretty quiet as you, I think, you're thinking back on, well, the last 24 hours. They've been pretty intense. You're goodbye with Asuka. Relief at seeing her again. Seeing your other partner kiss another woman. That was probably unexpected.
A little bit.
Yeah. Oh, then she died. Well, she didn't die, but she was like dying. So
Yeah,
that was
that's
probably a thing too.
Could have died.
Yeah, that's kind of the part she can't get out of her head.
I think that's fair. How do you feel about it?
I think the short way to put it is I don't remember what the captain's name was, but she's picturing that face on all the training dummies.
Oh, Garrus.
Oh, Garrus, yeah. So we're gonna go with angry,
Murdery.
Yeah.
murdery.
Might even say rage.
Indeed, you are just throwing furious strikes at these dummies, trying to work out whatever it is you've got going on. And as you do, you hear that whispering again. It's not coming from the whip. It's all around you.
Do I see anything or do I just hear it?
You just hear it. And the longer you go, the more you're able to start making out the words being spoken. It's not just gibberish. That said, the words don't necessarily make a ton of sense. Go ahead and make a history check for me. You speak Tiefling, I presume,
Yeah.
but you don't speak Alcanan. So go ahead and make a history check for me.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
I'm gonna inspo that one.
All right.
That's fair.
Not much better.
It's over 10 though.
You recognize that it is Alcanan that you're hearing. You're not even sure you know if you understand how you know that. You've never heard Alcanan. Certainly, you've only been there the one time, and spoiler, they don't speak it there anymore. It's a dead language. The only bits of it that exist, it only exists in the same way. It only exists now in the same way that Latin still exists for us. A lot of our words come from it, but no one speaks Latin. Yet, parts of you can make out what is being said. That they have looked for you.
That's not ominous at all.
Well, it's also one of those things where they're speaking an old dead language, so we were looking for you might not mean the same thing necessarily. It might mean something close to that. You hear whispers, people wondering, why did the sky burn? You hear whisperings, where had they gone wrong? You hear whisperings, what fate did they make for themselves? You hear whisperings, joy that their people have survived in some way, shape, or form. Whisperings of ancient and forbidden knowledge and a vow to protect. And you realize with some maybe degree of shock that not only are you an ASMR and a tiefling, but you are a direct Alcanan descendant.
All right, I'll take notes.
Yeah, I think she's a little surprised by that one.
There is something within you that recognizes this is why the whip ignites for you and no one else. Something that happened back then lingers even today. And part of it in you. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure there won't be a whole other game coming up that explores this.
No.
I'm sure I
No.
won't have to take notes.
By the way, tune in at the end of June for when we kick off our new campaign in Serene Unlimited, Paradise Arrested, run by Miss Sarah, who will be DMing for myself, Robbie Fatstacks, Robbie Landis, and Kara.
Pray for me.
We will all be playing a game set on Alcana in the days and weeks leading up to the night the sky burned.
If you are into Greek tragedies and if you liked Exandria Unlimited Calamity, what they did there, I'm hoping to pull that off.
Should be a good one. Make sure you tune in. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fun. All right. Promotional
Sorry.
This
breakdown.
isn't a bit, by the way. This is actually real.
Yes, this is actually
yeah,
happening.
yeah,
We're
this
actually
is
running
happening.
this campaign.
I
Yes.
actually have a document and everything.
Oh yeah, we are actually
Yeah.
starting this campaign at the end of the month.
I came to Callie. I was like, I have this crazy idea for a D&D campaign, and she went, "Oh, I mean, that could make sense in Serene." And I went to bed that night and got no sleep, and I just was fiercely at 3 a.m. typing a Google Doc, and I went, "Hey, so I thought a little bit more."
A little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe, in fact, that's all I've done since then.
What do you think? Is this too crazy? And she went, I want it.
I
And
love
went,
it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
ADHD do be a hell of a drug.
Oh, God. That is a...
Yes. Brayley, what are you up to this evening?
Brayley is gonna do a little investigating.
Ooh, what are we investigating?
Because this is a new land, and she wants to know what's so special about this area, why they were hanging on to it.
Why the Argenti may have been so
Yeah.
unwilling to let it go?
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to investigate that? Are you trying to look for a physical thing? Are you trying to talk to the people who live here? What are you attempting to do to investigate?
We're gonna talk to some plants. It's gotta be some plant
Ah,
life.
of course, yes.
I
I suppose that would work too.
New species of mushroom.
So you make your way out of the edge of town, and indeed, I mean, it's near the shore, so there are palm trees. There are, in the more densely wooded areas, you could probably find mushrooms if that's what you're looking for. What sort of plant are you looking for?
Yeah, we'll look for some mushrooms or any plant that's willing to talk.
Okay. Well, the nice thing about Speak with Plants is they are always willing to talk. So you cast Speak with Plants. What would you like to say to the mushrooms?
Hey, what's up?
Hey!
How's it
Wow!
going?
We don't ever get to talk to people.
Really?
Yeah, most people, they don't hear us. I mean, we talk to them all the time, but they never hear
Oh,
us.
well, I'm hearing you.
Oh, this is so cool.
So I'm new in town.
You want to eat us?
Do you want me to eat you?
Yeah.
Oh, uh-oh. Well, we'll see about that first.
All right.
Nice consider.
Considering
Uh,
this boy.
You
I'm
do
new to-
see, by the way, not far, a deer that has mushrooms growing out of it now. It's dead, but there is mushrooms growing out of it.
Oh,
Oh no.
good note.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, don't mind that. That's new us.
Oh, those are your friends over there?
No, that's us.
That's you? Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm Brilliant's gonna whisper to her.
Do you want me to
Puck,
do you want
that's
to have us
weird.
go?
Go where?
You see the deer, its body starts to twitch and spasm as it works itself back up to
Oh,
a standing
God.
position and shambles off.
No.
Oh, God.
Oh,
That is not
shit.
okay.
No, thank you.
Yeah. That's
Oh.
okay, so new us is gone now. Sorry if we scared you.
Oh no. Oh,
You do
no.
what you got. What you do. But
Uh-huh.
I was wondering, is there something special in this area that's different?
We're here.
Yeah, other than you.
You're here and you can talk to us.
Oh, this may be a mistake.
Wait, no, the mushrooms might actually be important though. I'm not there. I'm so sorry.
You can hang out with us. We're fun guys.
Yeah.
That's my part.
You like
Yeah,
so
you're
much.
the first.
I know, but I'm the one who always says it.
So, how far do you stretch out here?
Oh. Well, we're here and there.
Well, how far out there? Like,
As far as we know?
okay, well, are you in the city? Are you?
Yeah.
Are you okay? You're in the city too. Okay.
Is that where the other us are?
I could be.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just walk further in. We'll see how deep you are here.
Sure, you can talk to us.
Oh god.
Are you hungry yet?
No.
Okay.
I was hungry earlier, but I'm not sure anymore.
Did you eat us?
What's your name?
Us?
Just us? Okay, us. I'll call you Gus, because that makes more sense to me.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. You seem like Gus.
What do we call you?
You can call me Braille.
Braille us.
Just no, Braille me.
Bra-
Braille me.
Braille me us.
Okay.
Damn
Puck,
it,
don't
Belle.
Puck's in her hair. Puck, don't play with these guys.
Puck looks like Puck is on your shoulder and does not intend to get down. Puck does not
Oh.
feel comfortable here.
Doesn't like it.
Puck doesn't want to be us.
Hard pass on this conversation.
Yeah. Puck feels like if Puck were in a car, they'd be rolling up the windows right now. This is not a good neighborhood as far as Puck is concerned.
Yeah. So Brayley's gonna stroll like along the forest line, like closer to the village to see
Yeah.
how close this gets to like city life.
As you go, the mushrooms continue to talk to you and ask you questions.
Oh god.
Where do you come from?
Far away.
Is that where us is?
Which us? You us or me? Braille me.
All us.
Oh my god.
I don't know where you're from. Other than
Here.
here and there.
And there.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And everywhere.
Are you like up in the homes here?
This whole place is our home.
Oh Jesus.
Is that also us?
He's our home too.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
How long have you been up in here?
Huh. Us?
I'll take that as a long time.
It's gotten cold.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And then it got warm. And then it got cold again. And then it got warm.
Oh
And then it got cold.
no.
Is that like the seasons for you, or is that just today?
You think they're trying to describe the seasons passing. Yeah, that they've been here for a number of years at least.
Okay. What do you like better, hot or cold?
Hot,
Okay. Good
wet,
to know. You like it hot and wet. Okay.
inside.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh,
Are you hungry yet?
no! Don't eat it!
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Brayley's gonna come back into town as a fucking clicker from The Last of Us.
Exactly. Holy fucking hell.
Well-
Surprise, it's actually an apocalypse campaign.
Been a while since we've talked.
You and I?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Well, so how often do you get consumed by somebody?
Always.
Always? By like people or animals or
Uh-huh.
okay. Brayley's just gonna keep walking. Well, this was a nice chat.
Yes. Are you hungry?
Yeah, maybe later, Gus.
Okay.
I'll see you later.
Okay.
Brayley's gonna walk.
Oh
That
my
kind of-
god.
You walk back into town.
I gotta ask, like, based on the shape, like, were they normal mushrooms or were they like trippy shrooms?
I would say they were a bunch of different kind of mushrooms.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
You may have been on
Brayley's-
the right track.
I can't believe Callie turned the fucking Last of Us fungi into Gus.
And
I
to
didn't
us.
call them Gus. I just called them us.
They're called us.
No, Brayley,
We-
Brayley is like
We are
I wa-
Legion.
I give him a name. Brayley's
Brayley's
gonna
gonna
take a
come back.
bath.
be like. So I met Gushroom, and they go like, what? What?
As you head back into town, Brayley, a lot of the people in the town are looking at you now. There's everyone you walk by just kind of like glances at you for a minute. Most of them smile at you though.
Oh, hi. Brayley's gonna wave.
They wave.
I hate it.
Brayley's gonna walk
I
up
hate
to
it.
one of them.
Yeah. Who do you want to? You want to walk up to just like a random dragonborn in town?
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a silver dragonborn that you walk up to. They're missing an arm, so like you get the feeling that's probably why they weren't fighting in the battle. But as you walk up to them, they smile and nod at you. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering, I'm new in town.
Welcome.
I know there's a big battle and everything, and you're probably busy, but have y'all been eating anything out of the forest lately?
We eat everything out of the forest. I mean, and out of the water.
Like,
A lot of fishing.
you've been eating some like mushroom type.
Let me ask you a question, Brayley. Are you speaking to them in Draconic or still in Mushroom?
Oh, I guess since we just walked out of the forest and we're still talking mushroom talk, I'm gonna assume mushroom.
Okay. Then they nod. Yeah, we eat out of the forest.
When you say we,
Oh, I understand the confusion. The people here eat out of the forest. We eat out of them.
Oh my god!
okay. Well, it was really nice talking to you. Is there like a bath nearby?
Yes.
Where do you? Cool.
Would you like to come in and use our bath?
Oh. No, I think I need my own, like, privacy is, for me important in this moment.
Privacy.
Brayley's gonna turn the other way and start like fast walking.
Seems reasonable.
Bye.
Goodbye. They go back to working.
Oh, fucking hell. Well, we found our answer. Why they were willing to fight to the death.
I think Brayley's gonna sleep on the ship tonight.
Everyone get the fuck in the ship, we're leaving.
I know. Maybe get everybody else. I think this town is
Alright.
done for.
I don't think we didn't want this town.
All right, let's burn this fucking town down.
Well, I have another theory, but I don't know the thing yet. I will share it once I hear it.
Hallie, what the fuck? Why did you have to phrase that way?
This was not planned, was it?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I have been ad-libbing for the past like 30
Really?
minutes.
Because I
Yeah.
thought it'd be related
It's
to with the thing we found in the forest.
Maybe.
Maybe it is not.
It did say it had met you before.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Please stop. I'm gonna throw up.
Oh no. Okay. Well,
All right, Brayley, what are you doing with that information?
Well, where's everyone else at? I think we're kind of spread out.
I would
I
think
guess
you
the-
probably would all have a plan to meet up though at some point that
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
You're probably like at a serviceable tavern.
God, who would Brayley talk to first about this?
Layla, maybe?
yeah, whoever you
Yeah,
want
probably Layla.
it to be. Hell.
All right.
Feel like
Layla,
Layla, I don't feel so good.
Layla, when you see Brayley again, she looks different. You don't know necessarily
she
better or
been
worse, but she looks different.
Has she been shaken, not stirred?
So yeah, Brayley, you find Layla down in one of the taverns.
Brayley looks like she's gonna throw up. Like she knows the best and worst of the mushrooms, but this is like worst case
Yeah,
scenario.
oh my goodness. What's the matter?
Well, Lele, I decided to do a little, foraging, investigating.
Oh, I thought... Okay, here, sit down.
Bartender,
A water, please.
no water, straight up, whatever you got. That is not. It's home 100% distilled.
A Dragonborn.
100 proof.
Dragonborn walks over and
Wait, hold on.
looks at you. Whiskey then?
You're just one second. You're you, right? There's no.
I'm
You'll have to forgive
Me?
my friend. She's feeling a little
Okay, you're me. Great. I'll take it.
odd.
okay.
I'm Braille me.
Okay. Braille me. She sets.
Okay.
Do you want the whole bottle, or you
Yeah,
strike me as an all
yeah.
bottle kind of girl?
I need a bottle and a bath.
Hand over. Before I let you have any of that, please tell me what is the matter.
The waitress walks off looking very confused.
Lele, in the forest and in the city, I realized that I came across a mushroom that, once consumed, can control its host. And
Oh, that
sometimes,
is not where I thought that was going.
yeah, me neither.
Me neither.
Sometimes, yeah, most of the time, it's mostly like animals or like insects. But I believe the city folk have been consuming and, well, being consumed by this mushroom. I call him
And-
Gus.
And I do hate to doubt you like this, dear, but you are quite sure of this. You haven't been having any of the other mushrooms.
The bartender walks over. Would anyone care for a mushroom platter?
No. No, no one
They're
eat the
they're fre-
mushrooms.
they're freshly prepared.
Okay, let's go. No one, don't eat the mushrooms. Not can like. I'm gonna actually.
I'm so
look at
proud
them
that
now.
I've gotten Brayley to say those words out loud.
I know, it's so sad. You made her hate mushrooms. How could you?
These aren't the good ones.
I guess take a look at them, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, she's like in full panic mode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
But are they
It's
those same
reasonable.
ones she's seen out in the forest?
They
Are
look like-
these cooked mushrooms still
These-
talking to her?
These are cooked. These are prepared.
I still don't trust him.
I would say, given what you've seen today, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Fair
Fucking
enough.
holy shit.
So
But Brayley's gonna take the platter mushrooms and like throw it on the floor. Oh, you don't
All
want
right, well,
those.
Oh
I'm
my,
charging
this
you
is
for those.
serious.
That's okay.
Okay, and he walks away.
You don't have any. Wait, no. Lele.
All right, let me have a look at you, dear, and tell me all about it. And start giving her the like, okay, feel your forehead, let me see your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, here's the thing. Go ahead and make a medicine check for me.
That is a 17.
Look, sometimes people, you know, they go to war, they're young, they're dealing with some things. I mean, she saw people die not even a day ago. She kissed a woman and then that woman almost got murdered. Like
It's
she's
a whole
clear.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, she might be dealing with a little bit of PTSD already. You know, you've seen this before.
All right. Well, like I said, tell me all about it. So you found these mushrooms.
Yeah, Puck was there too. Puck, you could tell her. You saw them.
Puck
Look at
nods.
Puck.
Well, I talked to them.
Well said.
So I can talk to plants. I don't know if you knew that.
I can't say that I did.
Notably, she wasn't able to before, but now that she has the talisman, she can, or the choker.
Point is, that's going into her file.
It's around this time that Nova, Ayla, and Ramiel all arrive as well.
Ramiel
Brayley
has his
as-
nose buried in the notebook.
You guys didn't eat any mushrooms, did you?
No. Usually you're the one who is providing mushrooms.
Don't eat the mushrooms
Don't eat the mushrooms.
unless I've given them to you.
Yeah, she
Alright,
was
well.
just starting. She was just telling me about an excursion that she went on that, well, left her in this state.
What's happened?
I came across mushrooms in the forest that essentially are they consume people,
They
but
consume people.
they take control over their hosts. I know it sounds disgusting.
Is that the
Like
thing
some sort
mushrooms?
of possession?
In a way, uh, when I investigated the forests, I came across them, and then I ventured into the town. I spoke to one of the people that lives close to the forest, and they they're part of the mushroom system.
What do you mean they're part of the mushroom system? What does that
They're
mean?
all one being because they. Oh boy, Puck, can you help me?
Puck starts like moving their hands back and forth and like their heads bobbing like they're talking, but they don't have a mouth, so there's not
Thanks,
much coming
Puck.
out. But they're explaining it. They're trying.
See,
I
see,
don't.
Puck is a one
Like-
mushroom, but if you let's pretend if you were to eat Puck, he could control your body. That's what those mushrooms are doing. Puck's, but he's he doesn't do that. But those
Puck
ones
nods.
out there,
Well, how do you know they were
Looking around
controlling-
at everybody else, like, is anybody following?
Okay.
At that
Romeo.
moment, the door opens and Commander Alspeth walks in and walks over to you. I need to see you right now.
Of course.
is it about the mushrooms?
Her eyes focus in on you.
Oh my god, you're serious.
Possibly. Come with me.
Oh,
Oh.
oh
I
dear,
forgot.
this
Oh,
is,
no.
She starts walking you all over towards the barracks that has been set up in the base. And as you get there, normally you all don't have any problem getting into a place like the barracks. You're all officers. You should have no
Yeah.
problem. She actually has to show her like identification before they'll open the door for her right now.
There's a
And she walks over.
lockdown.
About 2 hours south of here, there's a series of hills. We had an ambush, or we had a patrol get ambushed in there. We sent more soldiers down and cleared it out. And she walks you back towards a room, which she opens the door to. And inside is just a simple metal table. It's just a small room with a simple metal table. And laying on this table is a pale white dragonborn that looks oh so familiar to you all.
Oh, fucking hell.
It looks
Is it the
just
Oh, good.
prototype?
like the
Another one.
prototype that you faced. She nods. Does this look familiar to you?
Ugh,
Yeah, that looked like the
nightmares.
thing that was in. Hold on, I have to scroll up the map.
The dying forest.
Yeah, in the dying forest. Was it skinning people there too, or and like wearing them?
No. It was marching in formation with 4 more that looked just like it.
Oh my god, really?
And that's
throws
where we'll
throws
wrap
it
up for tonight.
Oh, man.
Somehow that's first.